Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I made coconut buns, 1.2 kg coconut buns, and I'm here to share this recipe with you guys. This is an amazing recipe. It tastes so good, and when you try this recipe, be sure to get more clients. Let's do this. Alright, so I started by measuring out my flour, my 1.2 kg all-purpose flour. So to this flour, I added 200 grams of granulated sugar. You can also use caster sugar, 26 grams of salt, 50 grams of milk powder, and 60 grams of butter, or if you also have margarine, or you can use it. So I used margarine in this recipe. So next thing I did was to add my 1 sachet nutmeg powder. This 1 sachet nutmeg powder is almost equivalent to 1 tablespoon of nutmeg powder. So if you don't have the sachet, you can just crush your nutmeg seed and then measure out 1 tablespoon. It will also give you the same taste. So you make sure you combine everything thoroughly. So in this plate, I measured out 50 grams of coconut milk, 1 tablespoon of coconut flavor, 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavor, and 1 teaspoon of milk zest flavor. So that is what I have in this plate. So after measuring this out, I added it. I made a well at the center of my mixture of my flour, my dry ingredient, added that, then added 400 grams of lukewarm water. Then to that I added 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So after adding that, I went ahead, used my spoon to make sure that I combine the baking powder with the water and all that, so that it doesn't go and packed itself one side in the mixture. So after mixing everything, I added 1 teaspoon of fresh ginger paste. Then measured out extra 200 grams of lukewarm water, and I started adding this thing gradually. Okay, I started adding this gradually because I don't want to add too much at a time, and some parts will not mix well. Yeah, we still have some of the dry ingredients or the flour. So I kept on adding this gradually as I mix everything together. So once you are done, just like me, you have your hands or your dough very sticky and tacky, just as you have seen in the video. So at the end of my mixing, the next thing I did was to cover the dough. Okay, you have to cover this dough to rest. So I covered this dough to rest for about 30 minutes. Okay, about 30 minutes. And after the resting time, the next thing is to start molding my dough. So to mold the dough, you need to dust your hands with some flour, just like I did. So I dusted my hands with some flour and I scaled this dough. I scaled each dough 120 grams. I always like to scale my dough because I want all my buns to be of the same size. But if you also want, if your eye can just be catchy to just scale it without using a scale, no problem, you can do that. Okay, but I usually scale my dough before molding. Okay, so I can have even or equal sized buns. So after molding the buns, the next thing was to fry the buns. So first I heated up my oil. I heated this oil at 160 degrees C for 5 minutes. Then when I was ready to drop in the buns, I reduced the oil to 80 degrees C. This is because I used a deep fryer. Okay, so I also had to test the buns first to make sure that the heat of the oil wasn't too much. But if you are using just a pot and the oil, just heat up the oil so well, and once you have heated and you're ready to drop in the buns, reduce the heat of your cooker and you can drop in your buns. Okay, so at a point I increased the heat to 120 degrees C, and after frying for 5 minutes, I then increase the heat again to 140 degrees C and let it fry for another 3 minutes. So after frying for the 3 minutes, I also had to take up the heat again to 160 degrees C and let it fry for the last 3 to 5 minutes. But then you need to monitor the buns and also the oil and the heating, because sometimes it may not take up to 5 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes is okay for the buns to fry. Okay, to test if your buns is done, you can just insert a skewer or a toothpick into the buns. Just take out one of the buns, insert it in the toothpick into the buns. If it comes out clean, your buns is done. Then you can take out these buns and transfer into a kitchen towel or a kitchen tissue, a clean kitchen towel or kitchen tissue in your colander, and you're ready to enjoy these buns. Please try this recipe and thank me later.